Well, it is Valentine's Day, and who doesn't want a little more romance in their life? But sometimes, you know, with your schedule of work and family, etc., you can't always fit it in. Well, with me today is founder of The Perfect Date, Elitsa Manolo. Manolo. Like the shoes. And you're going to tell us how we can do that. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's a pleasure being here. Well, Valentine's Day, special for everybody. What we want to do is we want to focus on planning our perfect date in terms of most important thing that you can do is maintaining the element of surprise throughout the whole date. Okay. One of the most important things.
So that's a really good point. Now your service, The Perfect Date, actually plans dates and helps people. Share with us how your service works, first of all.
So The Perfect Date is Toronto's first event planning company, romantic event planning company.
That's what it is, yeah.
So our job is to bring more excitement back to relationships.
Okay.
And with our busy lifestyles, we all need somebody like us. We show up and we plan creative dates for you, and we just do that.
See, for me, when I'm dating, and I'm started to date again, I think like the first date, like a dinner, a glass of wine, and get to know the person is usually enough. But I was asking Val in the banter earlier about the difference between what a man expects from a date versus what a woman expects from a date. Are they different?
They're different.
Okay.
They're different. So what I've noticed with my clients is that when men plan their dates, they want to do something creative. They want to do something, some people say a little cheesy, a little corny, but it always works. Women like that. Women like to be pampered. So one of the perfect examples that if a guy wants to plan a perfect date would be to take them down memory lane. I think we mentioned something like that, recreate your first date. Or what you can do is take them to all those meaningful locations where you spent some amazing time back in the day, and just talk a little bit about it, just, you know, reconnect based on that. Another thing that you can do in terms of gifts, you can, gifts are very tricky. All of my clients
Gifts are really tricky.
Very tricky. All of them come to me crying, asking me to, you know, help them plan the perfect gift. But it all comes down to how well you know the person that you're buying the gift for. I constantly see people going to department stores and selecting something that is really not romantic, especially for Valentine's Day. My advice would be, instead of going all out loud and buying something really expensive, why don't you just give them 14, because it's February 14, give them 14 different items that represent your relationship. Like, for example, if you keep that one ticket from the first movie ever you went and you saw together, put it in that little box and just present it to them, because it shows how much you care. If you don't keep the ticket, give them a DVD with a little note of saying something like, do you remember that night in 1991, or something like that. I
love that. That's actually very, very thoughtful.
And just do something that really connects you, that you tell her how much she really means to you, that you know her. When it comes to girls planning perfect dates for guys, you want to make sure that you, again, you have to know your partner very, very well. Some men would prefer the classical romantic approach. Others like to do something daring and exciting. Majority of men prefer the daring and exciting part. So it is whether renting a nice car and taking them out of town to do something exciting and romantic, or just doing something within the city. I do something for a lot of guys. A lot of girls hire me for that. It's called treasure hunt. Okay. And you lead them around the city with a bunch of clues that they have to follow. You create mini adventures, and then at the end they just end up back in your arms, and it's a perfect way to start Valentine's Day.
Oh, wow. I'm so bad with directions, though. It wouldn't work.
Well, that's what the clues are good for. So we have riddles, or we print little maps with tiny little arrows that tell you where to go, and you just have to follow them. And you go to the next place, a clue waits for you there, and then you go again.
Now, you're talking, okay, so I love that idea, the treasure hunt thing.
It's one of our most popular.
I bet it is. I bet it is. Now, what would you advise, and would you advise someone going on their first date on Valentine's Day? And if they were going on a first date on Valentine's Day, what would you suggest for someone that just met?
Well, something that, well, if they just met, first of all, you always want to make sure you place your reservations in advance.
Right.
Make your plans in advance. For those of you who are just starting to plan Valentine's Day right now at 10:30, what I would suggest is possibly call as soon as you can. Make reservations. You want to look for restaurants that are intimate with low-key lighting, but in the same time that are not too loud. Because
one of my biggest frustrations is restaurants that are too loud. Yeah.
You want to make sure that you're not close to the kitchen and the doors keep on swinging open and people are not too loud, talking too loud because the music is loud. You want to make sure that it's two of you, and nothing will interrupt that perfect conversation that you're having. Another thing that I would suggest in terms of flowers, you could, if you still haven't got your flowers, I would suggest going a little bit in a different route and getting them a flower plant, which is one of my favorite for Valentine's Day is Anthulium. It's called Anthulium.
Anthulium.
And I love it for Valentine's Day as a gift because both the flowers and the leaves are in the shape of a heart.
Oh, okay.
So
I know the one you're talking about.
Yes. And later on, if the relationship continues, you can plant it in your backyard come springtime, and it's just a memory that you can take a look every single time you look at it. Reminds you of the Valentine's Day.
And you can call it my love plant.
My love plant, exactly. The best thing I would suggest going to chocolates if you have to.
So chocolates are the way to go. Yeah.
Chocolates are the way to go. I would suggest going down on Queen Street. There's Queens West. There's a lot of places. Delight Chocolates is my favorite.
Who we have on later.
Dolcini's, exactly. Or if you want to go to Soma, which is on in Distillery District, one of my favorite is Morocco Chocolat. I strongly recommend you go there and
so pick up some nice fancy
pick
chocolates.
up some nice fancy there. Yeah.
Well, that sounds great. Now, your service also plans with weddings and proposals and all kinds of things. Where can people get more information about your service? Because it's an event planning.
It's an event planning, romantic event planning. So they can always go to our website, theperfectdate.biz, and I constantly put a lot of information on the blog. So go into the blog and just look into ideas.
I love it because you also give different, so not everyone has the same needs as for a first date or second date or third date. So you actually have different price points for different needs for different people.
Yes, every service is divided into basic package, premium, and deluxe, and you can take it from there.
Well, fantastic. Thank you very much, and happy Valentine's Day.
Yes, to everyone as well.
I hope you're having the perfect date tonight.
I am, actually, after all my clients. Yes.
Well, thanks again for coming.
Thank you very much. Pleasure being here.
Coming up next, we'll sample the newest desserts from Dolcini's.